here we are for part 3. Wiring. We kind of put it off long enough, but we're going to go ahead and get this wiring taken care of. As you can see right here, everything was kind of coming through the firewall. I've already kind of started pulling back through a lot of the stuff through it. There was one little grommet there and everything was jammed through there. So we're going to take and finish cutting this back and then pulling it back through the firewall. All the headlight wiring, everything from the front end, and then bring it back through an actual nice grommet a little bit lower so we can clean everything up, make it look real nice. Nice and clean. Then after that, we'll probably throw the radiator in it, some fans, maybe run transmission lines, and put some fuel on this thing and see if we can get it to crack off. So okay, back for a little update on the 49 Chevy. Had a lot going on, and lost some video and just been grinding away at other things, but we finally got the majority of the little nitpick stuff done, and as you can see, she's all pretty much in there and done. Used the F body throttle cable, none cruise control version, and with the help of my buddy Justin and his pops, we got a nice little tight radius bin there for the intake, mass airflow sensor, and cleaned up all of the front headlight wiring and mounted the remote oil filter up front. There was no real good place to put that crazy thing, so we went ahead and mounted it up front here, make it easy to get to when you do an oil change. And so there's that guy there. And now was finished up on the wiring and got to the point of really grinding through. I was having issues reading this crazy ECM, and for those of you that out there that might be curious how to get your engine started, we've turned it over a couple times, and what happens is when you go to start it, it'll fire up for a couple seconds and cut right back off, just because the actual security of the VAT. So I'll run you through right quick. So first off, of course, let's turn this key on, and our HP tuners adapter's got power on it. So you'll come up over here, and we're going to actually read. Oh yeah, file this. Okay, that's an old one. Okay, so right here it says green read. So we're going to read the computer here. So everything should be working good. We'll go ahead and read the factory configuration. So this is, of course, as you can see right there, 2004 Pontiac GTO 5.7. It's a P59 ECM. This particular arrangement is a throttle cable. So we'll go ahead and reel this. I'll pass over this. Don't want to waste your time. Alright, here we are finally. Got 10 seconds left. So when this finished gets done reading rather, it's going to give you the option to save the actual file here, and so we'll just call this Jeff Crump 49 GTO. So that's going to be the factory untampered file, so you have something to go back to if you make any changes. Now normally what happens is, well, I'll show you that in a second, but anyways, so systems where you're going to want to go. Now this is just a start. You're going to want to delete O2 sensors and that kind of stuff, and purge valve and things you don't need, but just to get this thing started and bypass security, you'll go here to system, and then you see general fans, AC. General tab is where you're going to want to go, and then right here where this is serial for VATS control, you want to go none, and then you want to write it back. So if you haven't licensed your vehicle yet, when you click this right to vehicle, what would come up normally is the licensing options, where you would use 2 credits to license this ECM. Once you license it, you can make any changes you want and write it as many times as you want. So initially, of course, I've already licensed this computer, and it's 2 credits, so you know, $50 a credit costs $100. And so I'm going to write my changes back to this ECM. So click right, and so this is going to go back through the right calibration. Alright, so now that's complete. So now it's done. So before I do anything, I'm going to close this, and I'm going to turn the ignition off. And so now the car is actually ready to start for the first time. So before we do this, I'm going to go through and look over everything real quick, just to make sure everything's good before I actually start this thing, because this is actually going to be the actual first start. So hold tight. So just to get you caught up on a couple things that we done in our off time, is we actually got a drive shaft put in this guy. We measured, of course, from yoke to yoke, and then what turned out to be the best option, because I had another drive shaft that was a little too short that I had got from a junkyard, is went to Speedway and ordered a 1310 43. This happened to be 43-inch drive shaft. It was around $109, and it just turned out to be the cheapest, best option. Shaft, of course, looked really good, and then just put brand new universals on it. But we did take the exhaust, and we made the adapters here, and cut the pipe up, and from our collectors there, we went ahead on both sides and just bent up and cut pies and got our exhaust all worked up. And so the exhaust is done and drive shaft's in. All right, Jared, whew. You ready to do this?
Yeah.
I'm kind of nervous here.
What we got?
The first start jitters. All right, we're gonna go ahead. We look things over, and we're gonna go ahead and try to turn the key. But before we do, just to watch our vitals, it's always a good idea to go ahead and open up your VCM scanner, not the editor, for HP tuners. And then what you're going to want to do is we'll turn the key on there, and we're going to connect to the vehicle. And then start recording. So now this is going to give us a log of our first start here, and of course what I'm really interested in seeing is our oil pressure. So so I don't see it on here, so I'm gonna have to add it. So let's go ahead and click here. I want to add a channel. Just a quick reference, we'll go oil pressure. I'm gonna double click that guy to add it. So now we have our oil pressure readout. So let me go ahead and start recording it again. Add the fuel pump fuse. That's our air ride pumping up, since we haven't did that yet. So I'll go ahead and hold the throttle open just a little bit.
All right.
Stupid starter's hanging. Hey, you see we got good oil pressure. Will it idle on its own?
I don't know.
You can let go.
No.
It'll adjust itself.
Ooh, there it goes.
All right. Look underneath it, make sure it ain't pouring nothing out. Motor's been setting a little bit. It's not uncommon for the lifters to take a little bit to pump up. Got a little,
We're good.
little tap to it, but I'm sure to be fine. Quieted right down. All right, we're gonna check it over. That's good enough for. Go ahead and pop the hood, Jared. You go ahead and shut the hood. All right, here we are, finally done with the 49 Chevy build. Kind of just getting everything worked out and making sure everything's gonna be okay. Got all our gauges working, as you can see. We got a little scan going here, make sure we don't have nothing funny going on. We did have a little misfire on cylinder number 7, but turned out the coil pack was pretty much gaffed, so we went ahead and changed the coil pack and we're good to go now. So we're just finishing up, giving it a couple drives, giving it a look over. Maybe I'll throw some pictures up so you can kind of see the final thing, but she definitely scoots. She's got plenty of power, so he's off there at about 30% throttle. So she gets down the road pretty good. So we're just gonna take it around the block a couple times, make sure everything's okay, and double check our coolant temps, which everything so far has been perfectly good. So we're just gonna take it and get alignment done tomorrow, and old Crump's gonna have his car back to daily driving. So we're looking forward to giving his car back to him. I'm sure he's ready to put some miles on it now. So anyways,